Hey, you might have just heard that there was an increased risk of autoimmune conditions if you take menopausal hormone therapy. So let's talk about that and what exactly this study showed versus what it didn't show. Number one, it's not a published peer-reviewed study yet. This is preliminary data in an abstract that was presented at the Menopause Society annual meeting just in this month or in October of 2025. And it did show in 1.8 million women retrospectively, so looking back, that women who were on menopausal hormone therapy had an increased relative risk of autoimmune conditions at 5 years, at 10 years, and lifelong. That relative risk increase was about 28%, but the absolute risk was still small. So just bearing that in mind, and that this is preliminary data. And so I wouldn't get too afraid of this at this moment, but it does bring up some really interesting points when we talk about autoimmune conditions, because autoimmune conditions are a problem and women are significantly, in fact, 4 times or more higher likelihood of getting an autoimmune condition. What's an autoimmune condition? It's when your immune system goes rogue and you start fighting against your own tissues in your body. There's over 100 autoimmune conditions. The primary triggers of autoimmune condition require a few dominoes, basically. So you have to have a genetic predisposition, but your genes are not your destiny. Okay, so you also likely have to have some kind of gut-related trigger, remembering that 80% of your immune system lies in your gut. And so if you have leaky gut, if you're not eating enough fiber, if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, if you're taking in a lot of toxins or exposed to a ton of stress or other toxins that we know can drive an imbalance and then affect or weaken that barrier that's so important to protect what you eat from your bloodstream, right? That's really important barrier, and it's housed in your gut. So the gut is key here. And then often there's some kind of trigger, right? What is that trigger? Well, it can often be hormonal. So perimenopause is a great time, if you're going to get some kind of trigger, to have a huge abrupt shift in your hormones that might predispose to more inflammation. Not only that, might predispose to more perceived stress, being another trigger. Also, if you have a history of other trauma. So a lot of traumas can arise in this time period, but if you have a past history of trauma, we know that this increases the likelihood of autoimmune conditions as well. So what to do with this information is that, number one, recognize that it's not causal, it's something to follow, and we will continue to learn and personalize the decision around hormones. But more importantly, take this as yet another reminder that in this transition to peri and menopause and beyond, we have got to be looking more lifestyle based. We've got to be supporting the woman from the inside out, every person from the inside out, through gut health, the gut that supports the barrier to support your immune system. We know that is fiber rich whole foods, getting away from the processed foods, shifting away from the alcohol, and so on. We've got to support each other with self-care and reduce the trauma, the uncertainty, the pervasive doom scrolling, and support each other through stress management, through connection, through community, through love, through purpose-driven living. We've got to treat our bodies right so that we can keep our defenses up and, yes, help to support us in this hormonal transition, regardless of our use of hormone therapy or not. So I hope this gives you something interesting to think about. Have a great day.